As we all know, academic performance is really important for university students. While extracurricular activities can help students gain more experience and abilities. How do active students successfully balance their academic work and their after-class activities? In order to find the answers, we spoke with 2 students who participated in several students' organizations.
I got involved with a lot of the clubs that I got involved with because I just really enjoyed what they were a lot. I came to Penn State, one of the reasons was because of Thon and Dance Marathon. I had done that throughout high school since I lived in Hershey. So I got involved with that just because it was something that I already did. I ended up getting involved in homecoming because I knew some people that were directors, and the more I learned about homecoming, the more I realized that it reflects all of Penn State and it shows all of your passion right now for Penn State as well as for the rest of your life. And a lot of my other organizations were just a lot of like, I love their ideals, the sportsmanship team, I'm all about that, and Ohana, I love family and all that. So it just was a lot of what drew me in was just that we had the same passions and goals.
Being a student and all these extracurricular activities, I just give up on the hanging out with friends during the week part of my life. I'm very scheduled commitment, I guess you can call it. I stick to my schedule and I hate changing it. I don't mind changing it, and sometimes I have to. You know, I'll add something in. A friend's visiting and he wants to go eat lunch and it's the only time, so I make arrangements, but most of the time I stick to it. In my head, I'll literally be like, okay, I have 10 minutes to walk from the hub to Simmons, because I'm all about Simmons. I'm a healthy person, I eat healthy, I exercise, you know, I go to practice, etc. And so I'm always like, I have 10 minutes from the hub to Simmons, and then I have 10 minutes from Simmons all the way to Willard, and I try to stick to that schedule. And homework is usually at night or in between classes. This semester I have about an hour in between 2 of my classes, so I usually do homework there in between those 2 classes. And of course at night I'll stay up maybe till about 1 or 2 a.m. and on a good day I'll be in bed by midnight, but if not midnight, or 2 a.m. I meant. And that's how I basically balance it, you know. I use every second I get to study.
With so many extra activities, there comes a certain amount of stress. How is this balanced?
For the most part, I can handle stress really well, and I know that I'm someone that can balance a lot of stress. But there are those weeks where you have 4 midterms and you have a lot of work for all these meetings and it gets really hard. I know that I've had to call my mom a couple of times and just like vent to her, and that's been a lot of it. But you just have to realize that sometimes you have to take time for yourself, and you can't always be doing everything for your clubs or your work or whatever it is. And sometimes it's a hard decision, but when it comes to the point where I need to step back and do something for myself, you just have to, because otherwise you won't be as effective for these organizations in the future.
I feel like my social life is these clubs, so you know, hanging out with my residents is part of my social life. Going to exec meetings for Blue and White Society. When I was on the Great Show Squad, which I still am kind of, I'm an honorary Great Show Squad member. Going to the meetings, that's my social part. So overall, I don't think I heard it in that aspect. I might heard it as in, I might look antisocial sometimes, but that's just more of a personal thing, and I don't mind it. I've learned to be really independent.
To get a faculty advisor's perspective on students' organizations, we spoke with Barry Brown.
I think the multiple involvement that they have actually benefits them. I actually think it forces them to carve out the time necessary to study for their coursework or to work their jobs. And so I think the more that the students that I work with are involved, the better they do in terms of their time management, which I hopefully will translate into their academic performance.
Students involved in several organizations find themselves busier than most, but they also find themselves better prepared for life after graduation. For Team 2, I'm Xiao Wang.